Something I've learned in adulthood is you might not be sad, you might just need a hobby. It's important to make sure that your hobbies don't actively feel like chores, that it's something that you enjoy doing. And so these are some of the ones I did in 2024 and also want to pick up in 2025. Because I've been doing it for so long, reading doesn't feel so much as a hobby as much as integral to my life. But I want to reiterate that getting more into reading doesn't mean you need to immediately go to the bookstore and get a $20 paperback. You can start by going to the library. If you're trying to pick up a new hobby in general, the library is a great resource. They often have free events or classes that they host. Making jewelry is a hobby I picked up during the pandemic that stuck. It's not only fun to see a design come to life, but then you can also wear your own pieces. Coloring, and also in a general sense, being crafty. Also, if you're a recovering perfectionist like myself, a reminder that coloring, being crafty, it does not have to be immediately perfect, just have fun with it. Outside of coloring, I also picked up making book nooks and also digital scrapbooking. I want to get more into physical journaling next year, but currently I journal on my iPad. Fun thing also about picking up hobbies is you can start to combine them, and so these are screenshots from my digital book journal. If you have an iPad and you love reading, Pinterest, making vision boards, this is a hobby that I highly recommend. It's one of my favorites. Last but not least, the hobbies that I want to pick up next year, I want to get more into crocheting and sewing. I mean, just looking at all of these pictures, super cutesy, super fun. Whenever I see a girl in particular walking around with one of these hats and I ask her and she says she's made it, I think that's like the coolest thing ever. If anybody has any tips for beginners, please drop them in the comments. And then there's being pen pals to somebody or having a traveling journal. I fully recognize the hardest part of this hobby feels like staying consistent, but as somebody who also wants to limit their screen time in some ways in the new year, I think this could be a great hobby to pick up.